With fires, earthquakes, pandemic, do you ever wonder if we are ever going to get out of it? Maybe. For the past couple months, we are filled with unexpected journey with Mother Nature and unexpected deaths that we would rather not happen. Let's pause for a moment, reflect on all the things that we have and we don't have, cherish the moments now and the people around us. So I'm going to take you in a series of vlogs, a few of the best hiking trails here in the Big Island, and from there we can reflect on things and appreciate what we have. Before we go on to those trails, I want to take you back to the brief history of Hawaii before we come and visit our neighbors here. As you know, Hawaii is the 50th state of the US, located southwest and not connected to the mainland states. It has 8 major islands, 10 smaller ones, and 14 islets. Only 6 are mainly visited. Starting from the northwest side is Kauai, Oahu, Molokai, Lanai, Maui, and the Big Island. So the short story to the long history of Hawaii is the New England missionaries westernized the Hawaiian Islands back in 1820. In 1840, Britain, France, and the United States considered Hawaii as an independent kingdom, and it was headed by King Kamehameha III. However, Britain and France wanted to control the island, so Kamehameha III wanted the US to protect them, and this was back in 1875. So fast forward, in 1887, the United States was granted permission to establish a naval base in Hawaii at Pearl Harbor. And then the state's interest in sugar encouraged the overthrow of the king. Hawaii became a republic in 1893. US then dominated the islands 5 years after. It was on January 7, 1893 that the Hawaii's monarchy was overthrown when Queen Liliuokalani was forced to resign. She was proclaimed to be eligible for the throne of Kamehameha III. The Kingdom of Hawaii 2 years later was dissolved. The United States annexed Hawaii and it became a US territory in 1900. Hawaii's importance in sugar, pineapple, and as a military post became critical when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. And then that brought the United States and of course with Hawaii into World War II. So then, after World War II, on August 21st, 1959, Hawaii was admitted to the Union as the 50th state of the United States. So fast forward, in 1993, President Bill Clinton apologized for the 1893 overthrow of the Hawaiian monarchy. The apology was to represent as a reconciliation with the Native Hawaiians and to acknowledge the historical significance of it, but it actually didn't give them a federal regulations as what the American tribes were given. American Indian tribes were given. It's very political, it's a long history. So I emphasize that when you visit the state of Hawaii, to respect the residents of it. A lot of islands are still not widely visited, which is understandable, but also that's a thing you need to do anyway when you go to other states or other countries. They have their own culture and tradition. You just have to respect their culture and tradition and not insist on yours. So now I'm honing you into the Big Island of Hawaii. It's also called Hawaii. It's the largest island in Polynesia. The others are the islands of located in New Zealand. It was the home of the island of Paheha Kamehameha the first, and then later known as the Kamehameha the Great. So he was the first ruler of the Hawaiian monarchy. He united most of the Hawaiian Islands in 1795, since there were a couple of them. The capital was moved to Lahaina, and now in Oahu, the mainland of Hawaii, which is the seat of the current governor and the capital of Hawaii. The Honolulu is the capital of Hawaii. So the Big Island is known for its two major cities, and everybody knows this, Kona and Hilo. And the rest, of course, to the north is Waimea, Waipio Valley, and then the east is the Honoka'a, Hamakua, and then you go to the south is the volcano, and then Captain Cook. Big Island is an island, but it's really big. It has a total area of 5,086 miles, or about 13,170 kilometers. It has 5 major volcanoes called, so one is Kohala, which has been dormant for decades. Mauna Kea, which is dormant, that's where the observatory is. And that's one of the observatories that figured out that there's life in Venus. Kilauea is active. It was erupting continuously from 1983 to 2018, as we all know, back in 2018. And because of the constant eruptions, the county or the island is still growing. There is a volcano south of the Big Island, and we don't know when that's gonna pop up. The island's main source of income is tourism, of course, along with macadamia nuts, papaya flowers, coffee beans called Kona coffee, orchids and flowers. And the unemployment rate right now is really high. So for me, I buy local. I go to the farmer's market and buy my grocery there. The island has 8 climate zones, from humid tropical climate with summer dry, rainy and monsoon, arid climate of desert, temperate climate of rainy and summer warm and snow. So if you want to come to the Big Island and tackle the whole island, you want to bring different types of gear, from swimsuit, slippers, t-shirt and shorts. Then bring your winter jacket, hiking gear, or and earmuffs and rain gear, umbrella, and boots. So maybe also, surprisingly, you should bring your skis and your snowboard, because apparently there's a ski team here. So that's it. That's all I can tell you about the history of Hawaii. It's very brief. I didn't want it to make it too long. So in the next couple vlogs, I'm gonna take you to the trails that I found very reflective. And we are hitting the trails first thing on the next vlog. That's all, folks. Stay safe, everyone. Be calm and be reflective. Aloha!